Let's help you choose the right career. Choosing the right career is life changing. And it's not just about passion, it's really about doing something for the next 10 to 40 years of your life. The type of career growth you want to have, the type of work balance. Today, I want to walk you through the process to find a career that aligns with your strengths, a career that sets you up for long term wealth, and a career that would bring you joy and one that you will be able to translate outside of your work into something that you can build a business around. So, from having a competitive salary to flexibility and career progression, I'm going to be sharing key elements of a career that would lead to true success and freedom. So, don't just settle, but choose a career that empowers you financially and personally. Make sure to watch until the end for my top strategies to align your career with your goals. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. If you're ready to level up your career and take control of your life and your future, you've come to the right place. So, whether you are somebody who's just starting out or you are making a career change, choosing the right career path is one of the most important decisions you are going to make. So today, I will show you how to strategically choose a career that aligns with your passions and ensure that your financial freedom, your work life balance, and your job satisfaction is first and foremost. So, why exactly do you need to go through this process? Choosing the right career is so critical because this is a lifetime decision. The decision you're making right now is probably going to impact you for 10 to 15 to 20 to 40 years. If you're like me and you're trying to get out of corporate America as quickly as possible, 15 to 20 years. But if you're like most Americans, we're talking the next 40 years of your life. While career fulfillment, work life balance, and professional growth are essential factors, one key component that often goes unspoken, but we proudly center, is a strong financial compensation. I grew up in I don't know if it was my family or if it was my culture. We never talked about money like that. We never centered financial fulfillment and a strong financial compensation in our work conversation. But on this channel, this woman is not shy about it. I am not afraid to talk about the importance of financial compensation when it comes to picking the right career. So, the right career should not only align with your strengths and your values and your interests, but it should also provide you the financial foundation necessary to achieve all of your long term stability and wealth goals. Research will show you that people who choose a career that is aligned with their strength and interest are more likely to experience job satisfaction and long term financial success. So we are marrying both our interests, our strengths, our values with the money we want to make. So here are my elements of a strong career. A strong career isn't just about having a job. It's about building sustainable, rewarding, and financially sound trajectory. To identify the right career path, you need to assess your skills, your interests, and market demand. Yes. All right. Jobs that are in demand will most likely pay you more. But jobs that are in low demand will not pay you well, like being a cashier. Machines are about to replace those jobs completely. Now, don't get me wrong, they will still exist, but you're already seeing them dwindle. Not only do they not require any type of skill set, but they're easily replaceable. In order for you to select the right career, you need to do some work, you need to do some research. Conduct informational interviews. Gain relevant experience and continuously up your skills to remain competitive in your field. So here are some of these key elements of your career that will provide you that long-term success and satisfaction. One, you need a career that gives you upward trajectory. A well-defined career path should offer opportunities for growth and advancement. Please make sure that when you're thinking about your career, it starts here and it goes up there. So ideally, your industry should allow you to move up in seniority, responsibility, and compensation over time. A stagnant career will leave you feeling stuck with very limited career earning potential. We're not about to do that. I mentioned being a cashier earlier. What's the trajectory? You start as a cashier and then you become what? Store manager? Maybe, right? But I would much rather you center your career around a strong education, a strong degree, start as a technician, become a scientist, become a senior scientist, become a principal scientist, move to management, move to research and development director, move to director of research and development, all the way to chief scientific officer if you wanted to, right? If you're an accountant, you will start as a clerk somewhere, and then you will become a staff accountant. I don't really understand accounting very well, right? But then you will become a staff accountant, and then you will become an auditor, and then you will become a controller, and then you will become a manager somewhere, right? Or all the way to chief financial officer. That's a real career trajectory. That's a real path. That is what you want. Now, let's define what makes a strong career trajectory. You need regular salary increases and promotions based on your experience and the results you bring to the table. This career trajectory also needs to have opportunities to transition into leadership roles or to allow your specialized industry demands. This strong career trajectory should also offer opportunities to transition into leadership roles or specialized expertise. So, for example, as an accountant, you start as a clerk and a staff accountant, but then you can move into being an auditor. You can move into certain specialties as you gain more education and experience in those special fields. You're also making more money. Another key component of a strong career trajectory is industry demand. Because when there's industry demand, there's job security and growth. This is important. If there isn't a demand for whatever skill set you are getting, you could be the greatest at that skill set, but there won't be opportunities for you to move up or to make more money. For example, software engineer jobs are in high demand, but guess what's dwarfing it? Experience in AI technology, experience in cryptocurrency. Not that I agree with cryptocurrency, but these are areas that are growing in demand. So you will see more employers wanting to pay big bucks to people who have these skills. Another thing I want you to think about when it comes to your career trajectory and really selecting the right career, you need transferable skills. Because guess what? You can't just be doing the same thing for 40 years. Transferable skills allow for career pivots. For example, I started my career early on at the age of 17. I started selling Avon. Doesn't seem a whole lot meaningful. But then I went on to become an esthetician. I was able to translate some of that knowledge into being an esthetician. After becoming an esthetician, I completed my bachelor's in biochemistry and I translated that bachelor's in biochemistry into a career as a cosmetic scientist. As a cosmetic scientist, I was able to take all of my skills as an esthetician, my skills working at that insignificant side business as in Avon into that role. It allowed me to understand where the consumer was coming from. I was able to understand skin science. So when I was working, creating formulations, I really had the consumer in mind. Transferable skills. I was then able to transfer my skill set as a cosmetic scientist into a job as a product development manager. In product development, I went from being a cosmetic scientist who only looked at one aspect of the product development life cycle, which was the research and development aspect, and I was now able to see the full product development life cycle. Today, I work in business development. So now, instead of working for a brand or a company making the skincare products, I work with the manufacturers who create the ingredients or the raw materials that go into those skincare products. This gives me a completely different perspective than I had when I worked as a cosmetic scientist or a product developer or even an esthetician. However, every single skill along the way, I have been able to transfer from one job to another, to another, to another. Today, as a business development professional, all of those skill sets funnel into this job to help make this me the most successful I can be in this job. So, whatever career trajectory you are selecting, make sure that wherever you go, you are just continuing to build on your skill set. This is why, for the most part, I'm not really a big fan of being like, oh, well, I started my career as a plumber. Now I'm going to go become a hairdresser, right? You're starting from scratch, you're not building from that, right? I started as a plumber, now I'm going to go into real estate investing and construction, right? So I can take my plumbing skills into that role. I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? As you're making your career pivots, if you pick the right trajectory, you will be able to pivot, but with each pivot, you're getting stronger because you're taking everything you previously learned into this pivot. You're not starting from scratch. Now, when we're picking our career, I also want us to think about a competitive salary. Salary plays a big role in your financial stability. I say it all the time. I'm not ashamed to say it. This channel, we are financially focused women. So we are comfortable talking about money because, honey, you will pay me what I'm worth. Tell me what you owe me, right? We are all about our Rihanna here. Bitch, better have my money. Hey, we're all about our money. In a high paying industry such as tech, finance, healthcare, senior level professions, you can earn up to $150,000, if not $200,000 a year. Your goal should be to enter into fields where salary scales up over time and your compensation continues to grow based on your expertise and your experience. So here are some examples of median salary per industry. Software engineer or data scientist can make anywhere from $130,000 to $180,000 depending on seniority. Right? So if you are at that senior level, you can get up to 180,000, sometimes even more. This is also just base salary. I'm not talking about overall compensation package, bonuses, stocks, etc. Finance, anything investment banking, consulting, they can get anywhere from 150,000 to $250,000. Yes. And then you have the healthcare field. Think about physicians, specialized nurses. This is something else I didn't know about. When I used to think about being a nurse, I just thought about being an RN. If you are a nurse anesthesiologist, you can get sometimes up to $300,000. So, for healthcare fields, some specialized physicians or surgeons can make up to $600,000. I get it. That's even out of my reach. I will marry a surgeon before I become a surgeon because I don't have the patience to go through all of that education. But I just really want you to start thinking, get those nuggets flowing. Think about high paying careers, especially those of you watching my channel. You're watching Auntie Nandy and you're 18, you're 19, and you're 20. Honey, it is worth it to go for these higher paying professions. It's better for you to be a C science student, a C engineering student, software engineer, mechanical engineer, chemical engineer, than it is for you to be a straight A student in, I don't know, psychology. Another profession in the business space that pays well, but the competition is tighter. I recommend these only with advanced degrees is marketing and management. You can get up to $120,000, $180,000 at those senior level roles. I have another video where I'm sharing a little bit about my philosophy for career and education. We will link it in the description down below and somewhere around here. Please watch that, where I'm talking about the right way to pair different types of degrees so that you can really maximize your earning potential. Scientists, this is the field that I'm in. Scientists are not always the best or the well paid. Scientists were not always the best or well paid profession, but the technical knowledge we can always translate into business, which is what I did. I started as a scientist. I think when they started me, I was around 39-ish thousand. I was able to rise up to maybe 80,000. This didn't include bonuses and overall compensation, just my pay. But then I translated my technical experience into the business side. I did product development, then I did business development. That's when I was able to go into those higher salaries above 150,000. Okay, so as a scientist, whether you're science engineering, you're in oil and gas, food science, personal care, my industry, at those senior levels, you will see those salaries above 150, 180, sometimes even all the way up to the 200,000. But at the 200,000 mark, you need to move into the commercial space. Another important thing that I want you to think about when you're selecting your career is time flexibility. Work-life balance is becoming increasingly important. Work is no longer easy like before. Today, we are being compared to machines. So the burden, the psychological stress that is placed on you is a lot more strenuous today than it ever was. So careers that will offer you flexibility in work schedule or remote options, or like me, the ability to travel, will allow you to design a lifestyle that suits you best. Not only does my job gives me the flexibility to kind of design my life any way I want to, that ability to design my life like that gives me the opportunity to even empower a lot of side opportunities. It limits them as well, right? Because I can't just start any type of business because I don't know when I'm going to be in Chicago, in Florida, because every given month my schedule changes. But what I have is flexibility. Let's say I have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be at the airport and I have a 3 hour layover. I can do some work for my job, or sometimes I even have the flexibility to answer some personal emails. Because I work from home, I can go to the doctor anytime I want. Nobody is really watching. Did Nandy start work at 8 a.m. and get up at 5 p.m.? There's none of that. And I love that about my job. The downside is that sometimes, yes, I will work 60-hour weeks, if not more, when I have to entertain clients. But you know what? I would much rather have that than the rigidity of a 9 to 5 in office job. That's just me. And the reason why I specifically incentivize you to go for high paying careers is because most likely when you have a high paying career, it's because you have skills that are in demand that your employer can't just drop you off today to go grab somebody else and drop into your job. Now, don't get me wrong, we are all replaceable, so they absolutely can and they will, but it's a lot harder. And because of that, you can negotiate more flexibility in these higher paying jobs. You can negotiate more stay hybrid roles, for example, or for people who are really seasoned and are really good at their jobs, they've negotiated working from anywhere around the world. Yes, those things happen all the time. Career progression. What's the point of a career if you're not progressing? The right career will give you career progression. So you start with the role that provides you technical experience, such as a laboratory scientist, what I did, but then you can transition that role to allow a hybrid or remote setting, such as project management, consulting, or software development. I shared a little bit about this. You want the type of job that would give you not just progression, but also flexibility to be able to ebb and flow your skill set into roles that will give you more flexibility, that will give you more money, right? So can you transition your role into a role that would allow you for hybrid or remote work, such as project management, consulting, software development, right? So you can move into a position where you're compensated based on your results and not your hours. This is what I was trying to say earlier, right? Currently, technically, I'm in sales. And for the first time in my life, it threw me off because nobody cares what I do from 9 to 5. But I promise you, if I am not working, the pipeline would tell on me. The results I'm getting would tell on me. And this is why when I tell you that you need to have the discipline, when you move into these higher paying roles, you need the discipline. Because trust me, people will be able to tell whether or not you're performing. We are women who take our career as seriously as we take our side businesses. The effort and the energy I put into excelling in my side business is the same amount of energy and effort I put into excelling in my career. Why? Because my career not just feeds me, but it's feeding Nandy in the future. Roles like sales, consulting, entrepreneurship, and investing will offer you the ultimate freedom, but you need the discipline to keep working without somebody being like, well, what is so and so doing from 9 to 5? No, you will reach a point where it's not about the time you put in, it's about the results you get. So your expertise here really shines. Okay. Another component of a great career is jobs with strong flexibility. I mentioned that a little bit, right? Consulting, business analyst, all of the jobs that I just mentioned earlier will give you flexibility. As a software engineer, you technically don't need to always be in a specific location. You can work from anywhere. When you're a consultant, you can work from anywhere. When you're a financial analyst or wealth advisor, even in my personal care industry, many roles, project manager, even sometimes product development, you can do those jobs remotely. Flexibility really matters because it allows you more time with your family, it allows you more time on personal projects, and it gives you greater control over your schedule, which eventually reduces burnout. This is big. The minute I left the lab and I started working remotely, not that I'm less stressed, because I think stress is universal, but my ability to recover from the stress is a lot different, right? And what I also love is the ability to really live from anywhere while maintaining a high income. I now live in a lower income state, but I just moved here from California. And when I moved here, my company didn't say, Nandy, you need to pay us back that salary. No, I kept my salary. I'm a big believer, like midpoint in your career, move into a high income paying state and commend that, ask them to give you that higher salary because of that higher income state. But then once you've had that higher income, they're not taking that away from you. So I was able to negotiate to move back closer to my family. My company gave me that flexibility. So now I took that big girl income from California and I moved it to middle America. Now, only for me to find out that it's not as cheap as people think it is. Maybe it used to be, but it no longer is. Let's keep moving. Another component of a strong career is bonuses, equity, and stock options. You want to be selecting careers that would allow you for bonuses, equity, and stock options. Not everyone will have this as an option. And I don't want you to turn down a role because you don't have stock options. It's okay if you don't have stock options. But if you're one of those people, especially if you're a techie, this is for you. I don't really understand some of this stuff, but friends of mine who have it swear by it. And this is why a lot of people are having their brains fried in the tech in Silicon Valley because the stock options they get are so big that it's worth the 5 years of sticking through the stress and not quitting so that you can collect as much as you can. So while not mandatory, having access to these bonuses, stock options, and equity can significantly increase your long-term wealth and in a short period of time. Right? There was a gentleman who ended up sharing how much he made in tech. Within about 5 years, he went from starting at 80,000 overall compensation to about 400,000. Right? And of course, he came from Facebook or Meta, right? So employees in companies like Google, Amazon, I mean, they see their network just skyrocket due to stock options. So understanding equity structure and negotiating these benefits can provide substantial financial advantages, right? And many corporate roles, especially in startups and tech companies, will offer these additional compensation structures, which will even help boost further your total earnings. So, you know what? If I started over, if today I was 18 years old, I would absolutely pick a career in tech with a strong background in finance and or marketing so that I can pivot into other industries, because the thing about the tech industry is that it's also very volatile and it's too stressful. Here are some industries that offer strong bonuses, but just because I'm naming these industries doesn't mean that other industries don't offer strong bonuses, okay? But just on paper, when you think about industries that will really offer strong bonuses and equity, tech is on top of the list, right? Stock option, restricted stock option or RSUs. Finance is another one. Performance based bonuses, sometimes up to 50 to 100% of your salary. Startups, let me tell you something. Working for startups is a headache. But if you can make it through the headache, equity share is often a common compensation for people who work for startups. So think about these companies as you are selecting your career. Okay? In closing, your career is more than just a paycheck. It's a powerful tool for financial freedom. I know I harp on that on this channel and I will keep harping on that, okay? A great and strong career will give you stability and personal well being. This doesn't mean that these careers are not stressful. But when you have command over your career and you have a clear path and goals, that things you want to achieve in that career, it does give you personal well being because you are not aimlessly just going to work every single day collecting a paycheck. You are leveraging your paycheck for something so much bigger. While factors like job satisfaction and work life balance are critical, and we emphasize that on this channel, I would say choosing a career that offers you a strong compensation is probably top of the list because you can take that income much further and get out quickly to build your own side business. People in tech is very stressful. A startup is very stressful. But the things that you learn in the midst of that stress, you can easily and quickly translate into consulting, freelancing your own thing on the side. It's almost like an investment you are making into yourself. But the great careers are not just tech, finance, startups, right? There are many, many, many great high paying careers that won't stress the F out of you. Do some research so that you can figure out which one will work best for you. To where the Venn diagram of your passion, what you do well, and what will pay you well will align into the perfect job. Thank you guys for watching yet another career video. As you know, on my channel, I talk about all things finance, career, and business. My focus on career this past few weeks has been because I believe that a good career is the launching pad you need to build the business of your dreams. I hope this video helped you gain clarity on how to choose a career that will set you up for long-term success. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on all things finance, business, and career. And remember, it's never too late to start making career moves that fulfills you and secures your future. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts with me. Did I miss anything in this video? Are there other components you believe are important for a strong career? Or if you have any questions that I can answer for you, I would love to hear from you. Take action today and design the future you are excited about. As always, I will see you in the next video.